Guys, what is going on? John Anthony, Chair Shot Sports, a proud affiliate of Sports Coin. Thank you so much for joining us. Here we are, week 4 of the NFL season. Guys, the NFL season is probably the shortest season that it seems to all of us. We're already a quarter of the way through. It just goes by so fast. Next thing you know, we're going to be celebrating a Super Bowl champion and talking about the preseason in another 6 to 7 months. Thanks so much for joining us. First off, before we get to our show and talk about our top 3 stars of the week and talking about our picks for the upcoming schedule, just want to apologize. Has some technical difficulties, some other stuff going on. We were not able to get out a Drivin to the Bank show for week 3. I do apologize about that. We were able to get our picks out on Twitter. So with that, I apologize. Moving forward, that will not be an issue. Has some things going on, fixed them up. Not your problem, it's all mine. But with that being said, take a look. I'm wearing the brand new Ayuk jersey. I'm one of the people that are not burning the Ayuk jersey this week. If you're a Niners fan, my man will start cooking. He will eat. It's probably going to happen this week. Well, let's get into that a little more after we start talking about the stars of this week. Guys, week 3 was awesome. Let's think a little bit about week 2. Week 2 was trash. Week 2 was very, very tough for us here at Chair Shot Sports. What a good 7-9. That sucked. And there's no way there's people out there that you used to bet, or if you make picks yourself, that you went anywhere close to a winning record. I want to see them. Hit me up in the comments. Let me know. Email me the picks over at chairshotsports@gmail.com. Let me know. Because it was a tough week. Down was up was down, left was right in week 2. It was tough. It was a tough week for us. But through 3 weeks, last week we went 10-6. We're still hitting at a 58% pick winning rate. That's low for us. Usually we average high 60s, so we're looking to bounce back in week 4. And we'll get into those picks in a minute. But the first thing I want to talk about is the 3 stars of week 3, and there was a lot of them. It was hard to pick. A lot of guys balled out. The third star I'll start with is Derrick Henry from the Ravens. He did awesome. 151 yards, 2 touchdowns. He had 1 catch for about 23 yards. He did great. It wasn't a coming out party for Henry, but ever since the kickoff, it's been tough to see Derrick going. He hasn't looked the same ever since he came over from the Titans. Was not the same look King Henry that we were watching. But he looked good this week. Got it done. Kept the field markers moving, keeping first downs going on the drives in offense, and we're able to lead these guys to victory. Saquon Barkley is my number 2 star. 147 yards on 7 carries, which is an amazing average of yard rate. 2 touchdowns. Did it all, really. Was doing it all. Looked great in the Eagles coming back and winning in week 3. They look good. Can't complain. Barkley needed to have a breakout game. I feel like this was it. The stats aren't exactly monumental or blowing you out of the water, but he did exactly what the Eagles and what Philly needs him to do, and he got that done last week. And the number 1 star of week 3, Jaden Daniels from the Commanders, 254 yards, 91.3 completion rating, 2 touchdowns, also had a rushing touchdown as well. This was his coming out party. He looked amazing. I did not think that they were going to be going over the Bengals on Monday Night Football. He came, he showed up and showed out, did an amazing job, and definitely showed why he deserves to be the pick that he was, and he is the man in Washington to go forward for the Commanders. Might be the Redskins down the road. We'll see what happens. But those guys were amazing to watch. Week 3 had a lot of ups, a lot of downs, a lot of picks that we knew were going to win, and some teams were like, what the hell just happened? That's been, I think, the first. If we're talking about the first quarter, we're talking about week 4 this week. That's got to be the mantra of this week, of this season, moving into week 4. The first quarter There's teams where you're like, and then there's teams like, whoa, who's 3-0, who's 0-3, right? The Niners are 1-2, the Steelers are 3-0, right? The Broncos aren't where everyone thought they would be, but they're there. A lot of divisions are up for grabs. The Seahawks right now are 3-0. Can they withstand the schedule coming up? Can they keep that going? They look good. They've had a decent amount of competition in their games, so it's not like they're having a cupcake schedule. So they look good. A lot of teams that are showing up and saying, "Hey, don't forget about us." The Chiefs are doing what they do, but they're not the Kansas City Chiefs. And this is as a Niners fan talking about this and being like judgmental and trying to throw shade. But the Chiefs are not doing it convincingly. These games, I feel like, are at the end of the wire. They're winning it in the end. They're figuring it out, I guess. I'm not one to sit here with a Niners team that's 1-2. I mean, we took bad L to the Rams. We have the Pats coming up in week 4. This is a statement game. Niners drop a game like this to New England in Levi Stadium. That's going to be a problem. It's definitely something they have to figure out. But there's a lot of teams right now, I think, that have a lot to prove. And the ones that are winning right now can kind of keep that momentum moving forward and definitely make a statement moving into the halfway point of the year. So with that being said, let's start talking about week 4, guys. Like I said last week, 10-6. We took that L. We had the Bengals. Would have been 11-5. But that's sports betting, right? So again, before I go into all this, let me explain if you haven't watched this yet. What I'm doing is I'm giving you the teams and I'm giving you the line. The pick that I'm giving you is the money line pick, straight up. No spread, no nothing. I've got a couple of messages. I've gotten some people being like, hey, you picked so-and-so, but they didn't cover. Right. We pick money line here. We're not spread people. There's plenty of other people around there for that. Maybe at some point we might start dabbling in that, but right now I just give you the money line picks. All right. So with that being said, let's start with Thursday Night Football. We have the Dallas Cowboys versus the New York Giants. Right now, Dallas is a favorite at 4.5. I got to go with that. I got to say the Cowboys coming off the beating that they got this past week. There's no way. You saw Jerry Jones walk into that locker room last week. There's no way that Prescott is going to let themselves get beat another week after signing that massive contract. There is no way in hell that man doesn't have a fire under his ass with Jerry Jones waiting for him in the locker room after that game. So we got the Dallas Cowboys going over here on Thursday Night Football. And let's jump into the Sunday slate and into Monday night. First one, we're going to start with the Niners and the Pats. Right now, the Niners are a 10.5-point favorite. I'm not going to lie to you. That's kind of high. That's kind of high, man. No CMC, no Debo. Kittle has been cleared. Ayuk might start to eat. Jennings is looking awesome. Brock Purdy is day-to-day with back issues. Whoever has the 49ers voodoo doll, listen, we lost in the Super Bowl. If you're a Chiefs fan, put the damn doll down. What are you guys doing to us? Jesus, we lost in the Super Bowl. Give me a break, man. Jesus. Can't catch a break. I got the Niners here winning. I don't know if they cover. I don't know. The Pats have had a decent defense. They've looked good. The offense is a little bit suspect. I think the defensive line gets to Brissett. Makes it difficult for him. Maybe you see we see May get in the game at some point if it's maybe a lot to a little. But Niners go over here in that matchup. Then we have the Browns and the Jets. The Jets are favored by a touchdown. I got to go with the Jets. I've been picking the Browns the first couple weeks, and I'm looking and I'm watching. Aaron Rodgers is really looking like he's coming into his own right now. There are a lot of question marks coming off the Achilles injury. Can he be the one guy from having this injury to come out and actually be productive and have a great year? Keeps going the way he was. Last week was great, and I think this week is going to be no different. The Browns' offense is okay. The defense is subpar, and I think Aaron Rodgers picks that apart. He finds a way to win, and Hall's going to eat. Bryce is looking great. He's looking awesome in the first part of this year. And I think he continues that against Cleveland. The Jets win this walking away. Minnesota Vikings and the Green Bay Packers. Packers right now are favored by 2.5. It's tough, man. Vikings look great. I don't know who's wearing that Darnold jersey, but I want to know if the real Darnold can please stand up. This is wild to see what he's doing here in Minnesota. The Packers also look good. I told a lot of people this is going to do a lot of damage in this being a quarterback for this team. You don't think this man knows he needs to make it tough for when Love is ready to go. He needs to make it a very tough decision for management to look and go, do we want to put him in if we're on a good winning streak, if we have a great winning record? So this is a great opportunity for him to show what he can do. And I'm not taking anything away from Jordan Love. I think Jordan Love is the future of that franchise. He's an amazing quarterback, amazing athlete. Does a lot of good things. But let that man rest. Let him rest. I'm not saying the whole year, but why rush him back? If you start winning 2, 3, 4, 5 games, this man is your quarterback? No, let Love sit. Protect that man. You signed him to a large contract. Let him sit. Protect that man. Bring him in the playoffs. Maybe. We'll see what the record is. I don't know if you want to start switching this stuff up at that point, but I got the Packers going over here. Next game, I got the New Orleans Saints. I got the Atlanta Falcons. Atlanta's favored by 1.5. Atlanta, I feel like they're the team that just almost can, man. They get there, they get ahead in games, they're competitive, they stay there, but just when push comes to shove, they're not able to close the deal and just get the games won where they need to win. Beginning of the year, I have the Falcons coming out of the South, man. I had them winning a lot of games. I think I had 9 as their win. And right now, I mean, like, look at the schedule. They're I mean, the loss of the Chiefs, I get that. I mean, that's a loss. We had that all day. There's an L on the schedule the whole time. But I feel like they're not where they need to be right now in this part of the season. That's why I got to go with the Saints. Kamara is a beast right now, looking like he was 2-3 years ago as an offensive force, just eating up defensive lines, looking like an absolute beast. So I got to go with the Saints here, walking away. Eagles and Bucks. Philly's favored by 2.5. I got to tell you something. Philly is a fraud. Philly is like Philly's like a really good company that's doing really well. That's telling everyone we're doing really well. We're doing great. And they're showing a little bit of profit, right? They look good from the outside. But people internally, the players, the management, the coaches, everybody internally knows that it's going to shit, right? And all it's taken is one more bad loss, one more bad hit for that company to show its true colors. And I think that's where Philly is right now. And I think that happens this week. I think Baker Mayfield owns it. They're at home. I think he goes in there. He gets the win. He slings it, runs for a little bit, throws for a little bit, eats. Probably one of my top 3 stars next week. But I think the Bucks overtake the Eagles, and the Eagles have a lot of soul searching to do going into what is the midpoint of the NFL season. Bengals and Panthers. It's the Panthers. I can't pick Carolina. I can't pick anyone. I can't not pick anyone going against the Panthers. I got the Bengals. They're right now their favorite at 6 points. That's probably way low. Not exactly Burrow blowing the doors off of people and like blowing games out, but I think the Bengals at this point at -6. I'll take the Bengals overall. Jacksonville and the Texans. Houston's favorite at 4.5. I think Houston's looking to rebound. I think they got a trap game. They slept in week 3. They're going to come out hard. They're going to come out dominating against the Jags. And it sucks because Jacksonville's got their ass handed to them on national television. And I hate to pick against them again because I'd like to think that Lawrence can do something and get this team going. But I just don't think that's looking like this is the year for that to happen. But they have bounce back wins and consecutive wins and start stacking W's. L's might be the way to go for this year. So I got to go with the Houston Texans here, walking away, winning this game. Pittsburgh Steelers, Indianapolis Colts. Pittsburgh's favored by 2. From what I saw last week with the Colts, I got to go with the Colts. I've been picking against Pittsburgh a lot the first 3 games. I had them in my underdog parlay. They screwed the pooch. They're inconsistent. Fields, amazing. Looks great. Russell Wilson should probably look for another team to play for because I don't think Fields is going anywhere. He looks great in this offense. Tomlin has him looking like $1,000,000. Looks amazing, but I don't think this is their week. Richardson looks amazing. They're doing what they need to do in Indianapolis. That team is going to start doing what they need to do with the picks they have and the talent they have on that roster. I think the Colts win here straight up. Los Angeles Rams and the Chicago Bears. Chicago's favored by 2.5. All right. The mantra is always, at the end of the day, I should probably put this on my Twitter as a header. Fuck Caleb Williams. I hate this man. If you follow my Twitter, I'll talk about it. It's not a matter of the man being, or whatever he does on the field. It's his ego. It's what he says when he's off the field. Just not taking advice from other players, saying, I don't need your advice, putting the blame on the defense, going out and shitting yourself in the middle of the field when you're a number one pick, and you're still putting it on other people. When as a number one pick, you should probably be putting the onus on yourself and taking the responsibility as being the quarterback and being the lead guy for that offense and understanding that your stats suck. Instead of putting it on other people, you really, really need to have more vision. I mean, the guys out here last week, I think he threw it. It was a first down as far for 29 yards, 32 yards. Throws a dart down the field. Next play, interception. Boom. Pretty sure the defense got 21 points on Williams alone. All right, so this guy needs to settle the hell down. Shut up. Understand you're a rookie. This is the NFL. This isn't college. You didn't beat anyone great in college. Okay, you had some good wins, but the ones you lost, you cried, you bitched about it. So when you come to the NFL, you don't cry and you don't bitch about it. You figure it out. You get with your team and you get some wins, get some dubs under your belt. No one expects you to go to the playoffs and win the Super Bowl your first year. You don't need to do that. But you start talking like the way you are, you're gonna go some Ryan Leaf kind of way and end up like benched in 2-3 years as a number one pick. And it has been probably the biggest bust of an NFL draft. With that being said, I have the Rams walking away here, winning this game. Then I have the Commanders versus the Cardinals. Arizona is a 5.5 favorite. I feel like this is Vegas. Knowing something I don't know. The Cardinals look good. Harrison Jr., I get it. He's getting comfy. He's looking good. I get it. I just, I don't know. The Commanders showed me something this past week, man. I don't know, man. I just feel like Jaden's getting something under him. He feels good. He's getting loose. He's going to start letting it go. I feel like this team is going to start getting confident. Don't let us go out there and don't let us win one. Don't let us win one. Going to go out there and win the ones you think they're not going to win. And this is one of those weeks. I got the Commanders walking away, beating the Cards at home in Arizona. With that being said, I have the you got the Chiefs and the Chargers. Right now, the Chiefs are favored by 7. This is a foregone conclusion. Herbert's playing hurt. No one else is really going on. They're saying they might rest him. He's saying they won't. End of the day, all I hear is Chiefs win, Chiefs win, Chiefs win. Chiefs have not been doing it very decisive, though. I'm not impressed with them. I know coming off the Super Bowl, I know they're going for that 3-peat. I feel like everyone on that team, including management, including Andy Reid, and listen, you'd be stupid if you didn't have your eye on that goal, right? You want to be that team. If you're Mahomes, you want to put that next ring on your finger. That they win it this year with a 3-peat and another ring. You are automatically catapulted above everybody else, right into the TB12 conversation. That man is so young. At this rate, he could win 10 Super Bowls, 11, 12. We're going LeBron James, 10, 11, 12, 13. Where do we stop? Andy Reid is a great coach. Patrick Mahomes is an amazing quarterback. They have a great team right now. Kelsey could leave tomorrow, and they're still going to win Super Bowls. So they know what they have right now. They're drafting very well on offense, drafting very well on defense. Their defense is very, very stellar. So the Chiefs could go back and run it back. But does that become a distraction? Is that something that takes your eye off of some of these trap games and some of these teams that could possibly cause you a number one seed where all roads go through Kansas City, where you got to start playing on the road? It worked last year. They fell apart. They picked it back together. They got to go to the Super Bowl. They were able to overcome the 49ers 10-point lead late in the game, able to win it in overtime. But are they able to do it again? That's the question. But with that being said, I do have the Chiefs winning here. Whether it be a little or a lot, I have the Chiefs walking away with a win. Bills and Ravens. This was a tough game to pick, man. Ravens are favorite at 2.5. After seeing what Josh Allen did this past week, how the hell do you pick against the Buffalo Bills? Because of the Baltimore Ravens. I have the Baltimore Ravens coming out of the AFC going into the Super Bowl against the Niners again this year. Niners got to figure it out. Baltimore is kind of picking up their end of the bargain. Niners got to figure it out. But with that being said, I digress. Ravens are starting to look good. They've been a little up and down, but I feel like with Derrick Henry, they're trying to figure out what the dynamic is of that offense. One week we got Jackson running for a shit ton of yards. The next week we're trying to give it to Henry for a shit ton of yards. What are we doing? I feel like last week they kind of put all that together, and now they're figuring out what we can do. And you also have Mark Andrews, and you have other guys that you throw that ball to when you can't run, either whether it be the quarterback or the running back. You can still throw it to guys and figure it out. And you have an amazing leg on special teams to bail you out when you can't get that close. So I think the Ravens walk away here. As much as it pains me, I feel like the Bills, they got a shot. But I feel like the Ravens are going to want a little bit more. I got the Ravens winning here. Going away. Titans, Dolphins. Dolphins are favorite right now, 2.5. It's tough. Titans, I've been picking them. I've been picking them a lot. Dolphins, I think they're figuring it out without Tua. So I think they're going to continue to do that. I think this is a good week for them. I think the rest of the offense is going to step up. The defense is going to know what's going on. They're going to find a way to stifle the Titans. So the Dolphins are walking away here with a win in week 4. And then we have we got the Raiders and we got the Browns. Right. Raiders looked okay. Browns look okay. This is almost a pick 'em, right? It's almost when you have the Broncos versus the Jets. Like, what are we? Bo Nix looked amazing last week. Bo Nix, by the way, I'm saying right now, I'm going to go back to this video. I've told you, rookie of the year. That man is going to start figuring it out. He's going to get his yards. He's going to eat. He's going to throw. He's going to be amazing at his position for a rookie. And the future is bright in the Mile High. I'm telling you that right now. Let me go back to that. I'm sorry. So we have Seahawks and Lions. It's tough, man. Seahawks 3-0. Is it a false 3-0? Right? Is it a team that's really, really doing what they need to do? They beat a pass team in overtime. They probably should have won that game in regulation, but they kind of gave it up. Other games they're winning, they're doing it decisively, nothing blowing out. Lions, it's tough to bet against the Lions right now. I got Detroit going the NFC Championship. Detroit picked up that win last week. Dan Campbell's not going to let them rest in their laurels or put that energy down. I got to go with the Lions, Seattle, their first loss, man. Detroit here, walking away with a win. Right now, Detroit's favored by 4.5. It might be closer than that. I'm not going to say the spread is good, but I'll definitely take the Lions straight up on the money line to win this game to finish out week 4 on Monday night. So with that being said, obviously, those are all our money line picks. Every week we do our underdog parlay. With that being said, if you haven't seen or tuned in to what we do, the underdog parlay is very simple. We take $25, which is probably what? A pizza, a 4-pack of your favorite craft beer, or maybe you grab a 40 rack and a couple grinders with your boys. $25, guys. $25. What we do is we pick the best options of the underdog, of the people who are not favored in that week to win. This week, obviously, some of the people we pick and don't pick has nothing to do with that. But the underdogs we have winning this week are the Minnesota Vikings, the Denver Broncos, Indianapolis Colts, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and the Washington Commanders. Those 5 teams are unfavored to win this week. Nothing higher than 4 points. So it's not nothing astronomical. Now we're picking teams that are like minus 15 to lose, and they're going to miraculously win. We picked the close games, guys. For $25 this week. This week you make this bet on DraftKings. It's a $2,291.39 payout for 25 bucks. 25 bucks, guys. I'm making the same bet. I'm going to put it on X. Join me in this. We do this every single week. The first 3 weeks, we've hit 2 out of the 5, so we got to do a little better. But with this comes a little bit of luck. You can make a whole lot of money. So if you're with me on this, again, it's the Minnesota Vikings, the Broncos, the Indianapolis Colts, the Bucks, and the Washington Commanders to overcome their underdog status, win, and put a lot of money in your bank account. Awesome. So, guys, thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate it. This has been Driver to the Bank. I'm John Anthony. This is Share Shot Sports. And, guys, good luck and happy betting.